Hello guys, Stay Patient here with the final video in my series taking you through the no kills and no alarms run of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Today we're going to be covering missions 15 right the way through to 17 all in one video, and we're going to start off on the roof of the CSO, the convention center here, and that will be here on the map just on the helipad, and we're going to head in through the door just in front of us. Now, I am going to be covering lots of extra stuff during this video. We're going to be covering all of the missable trophies during the last couple of objectives in the game. So all of the trophies that you can earn during these missions. I'm also going to be covering Invisible War, which if you're following my full step-by-step platinum walkthrough on PlayStationTrophies.org will be your final combat trophy. That particular walkthrough contains all these videos as well as a lot of text explaining what you need to do in the step-by-step guide for the whole platinum. We're also going to be grabbing all of the ebooks during these missions because of course the game is going to end once you complete mission 17. You're not going to get back to Prague at all, and obviously there's going to be no way of returning here because the game will be over. So we're going to be covering everything you need to know about this mission basically. We're going to start off by talking to this guy, and I decided to back off. It doesn't really matter too much what you do, but from there we're going to move around, hack this door, and the first collectible is actually going to be in this room on the table next to the guy. Now you can get him to move. There is one of the options of dialogue that you can choose, which does result in him leaving to go and find his boss. But I actually found it harder to pick up the collectible without him there, which sounds strange, but I think it's to do with the location of the enemies on the outside. Anyway, you want to crawl up behind him, then stand up, and if you're not close enough to reach the ebook, you need to crouch again and then move in closer. Then once you stand up, you should be able to grab it. Just make sure you don't move while you're standing because that's going to make noise and he'll be conscious of you behind him. So once you've got that, of course, hack the camera like I did before moving into the room. But we're going to go into this room here, smash our way through the wall, and we need to climb up onto these pipes here. Now I make a bit of a hash of this. I've done this so many times and I've never fallen off like I do now. But I kind of get bonked on the head and fall down to the bottom. But we're going to climb back up and make our way through. So I do recommend, if you're, I know this is the final video in the series, and the reason I didn't put links for the, the guide that I mentioned earlier in the descriptions of the other videos just yet, was simply because I hadn't made that text walkthrough by that point. I've only just put it together. So I apologize that I'm bringing that to your attention now, when it's probably too late. But if you are going to be doing a second playthrough of the game and you do need some more trophies as you're doing that, obviously check out the link in the description. It's got a full step-by-step walkthrough for everything you need to do for the trophies in this game. And there are ones that I'm going to be adding, there's more information I'm going to be adding. Now when you get here, these guys down the bottom might be able to see you if you turn this corner. Now you can wait for them to walk past. Of course you can see them on your radar there, and either wait for them to walk past or you can simply turn on your invisibility. Now here I decided to wait, and you don't really need to because if the enemies do get suspicious it's not really a problem. But if you drop down here when the enemy is stood right outside the door, he might well hear you, and that's happened to me several times. So if you do want to be absolutely sure, you can just wait up here on these on this kind of grating and then drop down once he's moved far enough away. And you'll see there that we get the ghost and smooth operator bonuses, just to clarify that we have done that section correctly. I can confirm to those of you who have been watching the walkthrough all the way through that I do earn the trophies at the end of this video, because obviously I was recording each video as I went through and I was uploading them as a guide for the no kills and no alarms trophies. But there's no way of knowing for absolute sure that it has worked until you finish the game. So that's why I kind of ran through the last three missions relatively quickly just to make sure that it had worked. And it had done. I have already completed this game once on a different user, a different login on my PS4. So I did know that the routes were, you know, they were going to work, but obviously there are little things that can interfere with your attempts at these trophies. But thankfully they did pop, so if you do follow all of my videos step by step, you will get these trophies. And like I say, if you follow the guide that I've linked in the description, you'll also get basically all of the other trophies in the game along the way as well. It's worth mentioning here as well that I don't buy any upgrades during this mission, or any of these missions for the rest of the game. I don't purchase any augments or anything like that. So if you have Praxis kits left over, feel free to spend them however you like, although there is a trophy called Jack of all Augments, which does require you to you know, to purchase an upgrade in every single tree in the org chart. So that's a little bit ambiguous as to what's required, because some people have purchased one upgrade for every single org and not had the trophy pop. But of course, it's worth putting any points you have left over in the orgs that you haven't upgraded at all yet. Now when we get up here, by the way, I just looked to the right to show you there is a vent through in the other direction, which I thought was the ideal one to go through. I thought they were kind of trying to lead you through that one. But if you come back the way you came, I actually find it easier to get out. And I might be missing something, you know, going through that other vent. There might be a shortcut that I couldn't see for some reason. Oh, and I nearly get spotted there, so you want to be a bit more vigilant than me. Keep your eye out, because I was thinking I was high enough up that the enemies wouldn't be able to see me. But just be aware that they can, you know, that guy on the stairs can spot you, so just try and avoid him or keep your eye on him. Now, I'm going to use my Icarus dash, but first of all, I want to make sure that this guy here isn't looking up the stairs towards where I want to end up.
Here we go.
So, you know, I'm just going to wait for my energy to recharge a few times, use my smart vision here, and just wait for him to move back sort of out the way. And what we're going to do from this corner, we're going to Icarus dash into cover at the top of the stairs, and then quickly move around along, you know, to the sort of corridor up there. So you'll see what I mean in just a moment. We're going to hold down our dash, charge it up, and you'll see the icon that displays if you're about to dash into cover. And then along here, you've got some people in these rooms, and down this corridor here, you've got a camera which can't see you, but be careful of these beams and everything. But we're not actually... Oh, there is a second camera. I missed that, but because we dashed across, you know, we dodged from cover to cover, it didn't see us. But yeah, we're going to move along to this end of this main corridor, jump into this vent here, and I'm trying to remember where we come out because I recorded this yesterday. Ah, yes, of course, yeah. We jump into another vent straight ahead, and then we'll come out in a room eventually, and we're going to shut the curtains, or like the window blinds. Now, once we smash this one, you want to turn right straight away. Now, this next bit is actually quite embarrassing because I shut the curtains. This room is restricted. Now, I was assuming that the next area is restricted as well. So I made a save here and I snuck through this section. But it turns out that this hallway that we're entering now isn't restricted, because this is the area we came through at the beginning. Now, the reason I thought it was restricted is because whenever I poke my head out, the camera sort of locks onto me and starts noticing me. But I realise now, watching the video back, that is because I'm in this room when it sees me. So when you come out here, although I use my cloaking device to get into cover, once you're out of that room, you can sort of cloak your way out so no one sees you actually in the room. But once you're here, I believe you're free to just walk around. I don't think this is restricted. It doesn't show as red on the map, so I think you're fine. You could stand up, you could let the enemies see you. So yeah, I made this a lot harder than it needed to be. But it doesn't really matter, you know. We still got through the area, and it didn't cause any problems. So we're going to now be moving on to a new section. We're going to be going down to the reception area. Now, of course, we've got one ebook out of 3 so far. The second ebook is going to be in the reception, but first of all, we're going to be completing the optional objective. Apparently you need to complete this objective to be able to avoid an alarm later in the mission. There's an alarm that will automatically sound if you don't take out all of the 10 guys in this next area. Obviously you're only going to be sending them to sleep, you're not killing them, but you need to incapacitate all of them. And you'll notice when we come out into this room, eventually we'll have that optional objective appear. And we're going to start making our way around this area, taking them out one by one. Now the main objective is to, it does say there, by the way, when the objective comes up, it does say 11, but there's actually only 10 as far as I know. But anyway, they're all sort of appearing on the map. They show up on your radar, and they also show on your HUD. They've got a little icon that follows them around, so they're very easy to find. But we're going to turn to the left here. You saw me, just follow my footsteps. And there is a locked door behind cover, so you can easily get into this. No one's going to see you. And then from here, we're going to shut the door just in case. We're going to make our way up the stairs and hide in the cover just halfway up here and wait for this second guy who runs down to disperse. These guys are both going to go in separate directions so that we can take them out nice and safely. So I'm going to leave you to sort of follow my footsteps and take each guy out one at a time. We are going to hack a computer and turn all the cameras off. One thing to bear in mind is that you do want to search each of these guys and take their pocket secretary. Now, unlike most of the pocket secretaries in the game, for some reason it takes a while for these to show up as readable. So on the right hand side of the screen, it will eventually come up. You'll notice that usually it pops up straight away, but it takes a while for these. There it is now. And you want to read each one, because some of them will have codes on them for these doors that we're going to be making our way through to take all these guys down. And this guy here, if he sat there, then you can wait for him to turn and then quickly go around and take him out before he stands up against the wall, because once he sort of leans against the wall, he'll be facing you. So if he is already there, if you take a bit longer to get here than me, then just follow him and wait for him to be turned away from you, or whatever you want to do. But from here, like I say, I'm going to leave you to follow my footsteps, because I'm going to take this opportunity to explain the trophies that you can get during the final 2 missions of this game. So you'll get to a point where, the main objective here is to find a key card that will get us into the catering section. And once we're in the catering section, we'll meet up with Miller, and then we'll be given a choice. And the choice is whether to either go and rescue the delegates first and then go and fight the boss, or to go and fight the boss, Marchenko, first and then go and rescue the delegates. Now Marchenko has set up some bombs which you want to try and stop as well, and there's a trophy for successfully stopping the bombs and saving the delegates, and it's called Spokes in 2 Wheels. Now, most people will tell you that to be able to get this trophy, you need to go to the boss fight first, because there's a hidden timer for each objective. So you get 10 minutes to go and take out Marchenko so that he doesn't blow up the bombs, and then you get another 10 minutes to be able to get to the delegates before they drink the poisoned champagne. Now, I'm just going to mention here that once we're at this door, we can take this first guy out as long as the second one is faced away from us. But then you do want to close the door, because he's going to walk past and then we're going to follow him and take him out as well. But like I was saying, the Spokes and 2 Wheels trophy requires you to successfully complete both objectives. It's a missable trophy, but you don't actually need to go to the Marchenko fight first to be able to get it, even though most people will tell you that is the case. I managed to get the trophy on this run by going to the delegates first. And it's important that you do go to the delegates first for the final ebook, because if you fight Marchenko and then go to rescue the delegates, even if you succeed, the cutscene is going to kick in before you have chance to pick up the final ebook in the room where the delegates are placed. So if you're going for all the ebooks, you do want to go to the delegates first, and we are going to make a save before making that decision, before we decide which objective to go to. First of all, we are going to make a save, because If you take a while getting from the delegates room to the boss fight, then the Spokes and Two Wheels trophy might not unlock, if you take too long, because the bombs might be detonated. You can still take out the boss, but the bombs might have gone off. So, we're going to make a save there. We don't end up needing it, but there is another trophy called Laputin Machine, and that one involves killing the boss, Marchenko, using his kill switch. Doing so is obviously going to negate the pacifist trophy, because we are going to have killed Marchenko, so we are going to make a save before taking him on as well. Now, although we make a save before making the decision of which objective to go to first, like I said before, we don't end up needing that save. The only one I end up using is one I make just before fighting Marchenko, because we earn all the other trophies in the lead up to fighting him, and then we literally take him out using the kill switch, which takes no more than a few seconds, and then we can reload our save and take him out, non-lethally to finish off the pacifist trophy. And I do end up earning the FOXIEST of all HOUNDS trophy for not setting off any alarms. I earn that during the first run-through, the run-through that sees us going to the delegates first. Now, most guides will tell you that the no alarms trophy has to be done by going to fight Marchenko first, but once again, that's another trophy that doesn't need to be done in that order. So we are going to start off by going to the delegates room first, which will get us the final collectible. And if you fail any of the other trophies during that run, then you'll be able to reload your save from before making the decision. And things are a little bit easier if you go to the Marchenko fight first, but we're going to have saves available. If you do fail anything, you're going to be able to go back to that save, make the other choice, do the objectives in the other order, in the opposite order, and get any trophies that you failed to get the first time through. But to be honest, I think you're probably going to be able to get all of the trophies basically in one run through. The only thing you're going to need to repeat is the Marchenko boss fight. Now we're getting towards the end of these guys here now, and we're leaving the enemy that has the key card that we're looking for till last. And we've got two more guys to take out. One is right next to us. We're going to jump off the edge. I do hope all the explanation I've given you guys for those trophies makes some kind of sense. To be honest, you don't really need to fully understand it as long as you follow my footsteps. I will explain as we're doing it. It will make a bit more sense then. But if you follow what I do, you will earn all the trophies, that are related to the different endings of the game. So we're on to the last guy now. He has quite a large patrol route, and there may be several points on his patrol route during which you can take him out without being seen. But I come down to this far corner of the exhibition room, or the reception room, sorry. We're down near the DJ and the dance floor. There we are on the map there. We're just going to hide out here, and I actually speed things up because this guy walks around for a while. And once we've done this, we are going to have the code to be able to get into the catering room. But we do need to remember to grab the ebook. Now, the reason I left the ebook until right at the end is because the collectibles don't save. If you pick them up, they don't automatically save. If you have to restart a section, then you do need to pick up the ebook again. So I waited until I had definitely, successfully finished this whole section. And then I am going to grab the ebook now. I think I made a cut here because I made the save a bit early. I almost forgot the ebook. Let's see what happens, because like I say, it's been a while since I played, or since I recorded this. Anyway, I did make a save, but then I remembered that the ebook is in the corner here. So if we face the DJ booth, this will be the second one in London. Go to the left of the DJ, and it's on the seat there, nice and easy. Now, here is where we want to make a save, and this is going to be our main anchor save. It's like our just in case save. So if there's any trophies that you don't manage to earn, we can make it anywhere around here really. In fact, I do end up making it after taking out the enemies in this section. So we're going to make our way up to the waypoint here, and there's 3 enemies in this corridor and the rooms off it. These are nice and easy to take out. We're going to wait for this first guy to face to the right, and then just sneak in behind him and, you know, use our takeout move on him. Then we're going to head into the room. Let's have a look here, just trying to remember how I approach this. Yeah, we'll take him out, then we're going to head into the room that he was facing. We don't need to hide the body. We're going to open the vent here, and that's going to take us round to the second guy. It's going to be nice and easy to take out because he's facing away from us. So just carefully hop down. Don't make any noise, stay crouched of course. And we're going to get in cover and take this second guy out. And the third guy is all the way around the other side. But first of all, I'm going to show you the room that we're heading for. Now this room here, with the waypoint, you don't want to go in there yet because we need to make a save before entering there. Now of course you may have made a save earlier on, so if you do mess up and you forget to make one here, you can always revert back to the earlier one. We are going to take this third guy out first. Here we go. Now in this room is the kill switch, and you can grab this before even meeting with Miller. So under the desk that the guy was sat on, you do want to grab, you know, move this case out the way, that bag, and behind is a weapons briefcase. In there is the Marchenko's kill switch. Now that is required for one of the trophies, so grab it now, and that means that once we make a save, we already have it, we don't need to pick it up again. And like I say, you want to make a save before entering this door, because as soon as you enter it, it's going to start a cutscene, and immediately at the end of the cutscene, you're going to be presented with the choice that I mentioned earlier. Now, like I said, a lot of people say that you have to stop Marchenko first to be able to get the FOXIEST of the HOUNDS trophies and the Spokes in 2 Wheels trophies, but you don't. We've made the save, so you can come back here and try it by going to Marchenko first if you like, but I decided to go with the delegates first. Before we leave, we're going to administer the antidote to Miller. Now that antidote is what we picked up during mission 12 in the vault at the bank. Now I did mention it, I did make a big deal of it when we were there, so if you're following this playthrough, you will have picked that up. So that's the He's Not Dead Jim trophy done. Now here we have 2 enemies and a turret. What I'm going to do is, after I manage to get into the piece of cover I was trying to get into, it didn't seem to want to let me. There we are. Now here is a perfect opportunity to earn another combat trophy, another missable trophy that, if you've been following my text guide that's linked in the description on PlayStationTrophies.org, you'll already have all of the combat trophies except for this one. And this is Invisible War, which involves using our Stealth Glass Shield Cloaking ability, which I'm going to upgrade now. You need to buy the Cloaked Takedown Support upgrade. You need to use that to be able to take one of these cloaked enemies down while you remained cloaked yourself. And you'll notice that I popped one of my energy charger things, I forget the name of them, biocells? I popped a biocell to fill up my energy. That way I had enough energy to be able to stay cloaked long enough to be able to take out the cloaked enemy. Now, to be able to take him out, we've already done it, but you know, you kind of need to stand next to them and mash the circle button, because when they're cloaked, they don't tend to have the trigger, you know, the on-screen prompt to be able to press circle and knock them out. So I found that you need to kind of press circle quite a few times for it to register. So if you just get up close to them and then just mash the button, making sure you're cloaked yourself. Now we're going to use our radar here just to make sure no one's looking at us. We're going to pop our cloak every now and again, get into cover, and we're just going to use sort of cloak from cover to cover to get past them. And we're going to head into this vent on the right hand side. We'll use this to get into a room. There's loads of enemies in this area, but as long as you stay alert, you can make your way past all of them. Now, there doesn't ever seem to be an enemy to the left of this, you know, down this corridor. So every time I've done it, I've had plenty of time to hack this terminal. And I think I even failed on this run and had to restart or something. Yes, no, that was it. I was going the wrong way. I hadn't looked at it properly and I was going the completely wrong way. So I ducked out because obviously if you do fail a hack, it does trigger an alarm. So that's going to cancel out your FOXIEST of the HOUNDS run. And I had plenty of time. I looked around, there was still no one there. So we're going to go into this room once we've hacked it. And we're going to just be careful of the guys outside the window. Go under the desk here, open the vent cover, make our way through to another room. We're going to come up under another desk in the next room along. And then we're going to make our way out. If you look up here, you'll be able to open the vent cover above us. And then you can jump out. Now we're going to make our way out of a door, but be careful of this window here because there's lots of guys outside. And this is the elevator that we're making our way to, which is very heavily guarded. So you want to be careful of those detection, markers on screen. There's a turret here as well. So if you've got enough of your, biocells left, you're going to be using a few here. We can just use one charge of our energy to get from cover to cover there. But as soon as we need to go and sort of press the button on the elevator, we need a lot of energy. So we pop a biocell, press the button, and then move into cover over this side. Of course, when you see me use the cloaking device to get from cover to cover, I have upgraded the duration. I've bought both duration upgrades for the cloaking, for the glass shield cloaking. So bear that in mind. If you haven't got those upgrades and you've only got the 1 bar of energy, then you might not be able to get as far as I get. It might sort of run out while you're not in cover. Another thing I wanted to just point out there is that I deliberately stood up and made some noise when I was walking towards the elevator because I wanted to show you guys that when the enemies go suspicious, like they did then, it doesn't negate the trophy. So you don't need to worry if you make a bit of noise or they kind of almost see you and don't quite go hostile or don't quite, see you enough to want to trigger an alarm, then it's fine. Suspicion is fine, searching is fine. So on mission 10, when the drones are already searching for you, a lot of people worry about that, but that's absolutely fine as well. Now here we are at the delegates room. There's a cutscene, which we've skipped, and we're going to grab the final ebook here. Now the trophy for the ebook collectibles won't pop on my run because I have only been doing the story content. I haven't been doing all the open world ebooks and things like that, but that is the final one in this mission. Of course, to be able to get the trophy, you will have had to have collected every ebook in Prague, every ebook in all the missions, and I've tried to show you all the ebooks in the missions, but obviously not the ones in Prague. I am going to add a text walkthrough or a text guide to my to my whole platinum sort of step-by-step walkthrough on PlayStationTrophies.org, the one that's linked in the description. I'm going to add details of all the collectibles, all the side missions. So, if you're following that guide, eventually it will be comprehensive enough for you to earn all the trophies in the game. But for now, obviously, you will have had to have found a guide to be able to get all those ebooks so that the trophy pops once you pick up that final one that I just grabbed. Now, I was very close to being spotted there, but I wasn't, thankfully. I've popped another biocell just so that I can come all the way across back into the room that we started off in, or, that we came out through the vent from. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. I apologise about my voice as well, guys. You can probably notice it's getting deeper and more hoarse as we get through this playthrough. It's because it's been a lot of talking for me, and that, coupled with my health problems, has resulted in my voice almost going altogether. And it's led to some sections of... oh, need to be careful. It turns out there are some guys that walk across that that corridor there. But yeah, some sections of some of these videos, may have my voice at a higher volume than other sections. So I apologise if my voice does go up and down in volume. But here we are, we're back through this vent, but all the enemies are still here. Remember, we haven't taken anyone down, so you do have to be careful of all the same enemies. Of course, you'll have seen me sneaking around the enemies outside the lift. So just remember, although we're past that point now, when you're going back up the lift, the enemies are still there, so stay in cover even when you're inside the lift. You know, the doors will open and they'll all see you, unless they're facing the other way, of course. But just remember they're there, so, you know, hide around the corner of the door and use your cloaking device. So anyway, now we are making our way to the Marchenko fight, so we need to go back the way we came, all the way back to the room with Miller, and then we are going to make our way to the other objective, which is, I believe, mission 17. One of these is mission 16, one is mission 17, and they both involve exiting out of, you know, a different door from Miller's room. And a lot of people will tell you, here is a sort of better opportunity to explain what I was trying to explain earlier. The Spokes in Two Wheels trophy requires you to rescue those delegates like we did, which involves getting to them before they drink the poison, which we managed to do, and there's 10 minutes, you know, you have 10 minutes available to do that. And then you need to also stop Marchenko in time to be able to avoid him setting off the bombs. Now we're going to come back to this main room, and this area has no enemies in until we get to the boss fight. Now, I end up earning that trophy here. A lot of people will tell you that if you go to the delegates first, that you won't be able to earn this trophy. But they'll also tell you that if you go to the delegates first, there'll be an alarm sounding later on in the level, but there wasn't during this playthrough, so a lot of that information you read on other guides might be incorrect. But we're going to make a save before entering this room, and then once we get the option to, we're going to use the kill switch, we're going to kill Marchenko and get the Laputin machine trophy. Now, you'll see here that Spokes in Two Wheels also pops, which means we were able to stop him in time to be able to deactivate the bombs, even though we went to the delegates first. So you may be tempted to follow those guides and go to Marchenko first, then reload a save and go to the delegates first. You notice there that we have unlocked FOXIEST of the Hounds. Anyway, you don't need to do that. I recommend making the save anyway, but then doing the delegates first and trying to get all the trophies in one run. Obviously, you need to make a save before killing Marchenko and then come back as we are now. We're coming back to take him out non-lethally for the Pacifist trophy. But the only reason you'll need to reload a save from before speaking to Miller is if you don't manage to complete both objectives quick enough to be able to get the Spokes in Two Wheels trophy, sorry. So I recommend doing them in the order that I've done them. Then obviously you use the kill switch the first time, then you choose to fight Marchenko, and from here we're going to go all the way to the left. Now if you have an EMP mine or an EMP grenade and enough, enough crafting parts to make a mine template, then you don't need to come up to this room. But I want to show you, and I want to thank PowerPix, because I did find out about this particular EMP mine, or EMP grenade, sorry, and the parts in this room. I did find out about them by watching one of his guides. But there's some parts here that are going to help you have enough to be able to craft a mine template. Pardon me. So you can craft one of them, and then you can combine it in your inventory menu with the EMP grenade you just picked up. Now you probably have all this stuff already going into this mission. Like you can see there, I've hardly been picking up any loot, but I've got 3 EMP grenades. You can hold down the combine button, which I think is square, and then combine it with the mine template, and now you want to go into your weapon wheel and you're going to equip your newly created EMP mine. Now from here we're going to move back downstairs and we're going to place that mine where Marchenko is going to walk. We're going to make sure we put it somewhere that he's going to walk by. Now this is quite interesting as well. We're going to take cover here. He knows where we are. He can see us. He's shooting at us. And he very nearly spots us there properly. But we put the EMP mine here, put it on the corner there. Then we're going to run in and we're going to take him out non-lethally using the square sort of takedown button. Now you'll notice that even though he went red before we took him down, we do get the smooth operator bonus, which involves no alarms being sounded. So it might be that there isn't actually an alarm in this area. But in a moment you'll notice pacifist popping. There we go, guys. Right, so that means we have earned the He's Not Dead Gym, Laputan Machine, Spokes in Two Wheels, Pacifist, Foxiest of the Hounds, and we've picked up all the ebooks in London. So there you have it, guys. That brings us to the end of our Foxiest and Pacifist full playthrough of this game. I hope the guide's been helpful to you guys, and I'm very pleased the trophies did pop, because I'm always paranoid with trophies like this that I may have made a mistake somewhere down the road. But everything's popped. I hope you found these guides useful, guys. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Check out the link in the description for the full platinum sort of step-by-step walkthrough, because if you have more trophies to go and you are going to be doing a second playthrough, or maybe you're playing the game through again on the hardest difficulty for that trophy, then there's bound to be something helpful in that thread on the PlayStationTrophies.org forum. So check that out. And also, if you have enjoyed these guides that I've put together and any other videos on the channel, just maybe consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is in the description. So even if it's just for $1 a month, every little bit helps, and it'll really help me make sure that I can keep this channel going. Anyway, I really appreciate your time, guys, and I hope to see you again in my future trophy-based content. So thank you once more, and I'll catch you all very soon.